Okay, so with Intesa San Paolo, we started this venture capital project, noticing from the fact that, as you probably know, in Italy, the type of venture capital investments, both in terms of amount and number of investments, is still much lower than in the rest of our European peers. So our idea was really to try to bridge this gap and trying to do ourselves some venture capital from a banking institution. But venture capital is not the only thing that we do within the Intesa Group in terms of support for innovation. Another very large project that I will mention to you about later is Intesa San Paolo Startup Initiative from the Corporate and Investment Banking Division, which I believe many of you already know, and probably many of you already somehow were participating into this. There is Intesa San Paolo Eurodesk, which is a company based in Brussels that supports small and medium enterprises to get access with fundings from the European Union. There is us, that I will mention to you later. We have several initiatives in terms of financing for small and medium enterprises and startups, as well as the bank does also direct private equity investments into technology-oriented startups. A major example is Novamont, which is a biodegradable plastic company in Italy, very successful now worldwide, where we are one of the main investors. And of course, we do also many other type of investment banking activities like IPO, trade sales that can help in the exit side, as well as supports for incubators. So what is my job? Basically, I work in these 3 venture capital funds, which are Atlante Ventures, Atlante Ventures Mezzogiorno, and the newborn Atlante Seed. Atlante Ventures is a 25 million euro fund, completely funded by the Intesa Group. We do mostly round A and round B investments, and we are a generalistic fund. We can invest in anything. Of course, mostly now it's biomedical, ICT, clean tech, but we can invest we have a very broad geography scope here. We can invest in Italy, Europe, and also US now. Atlante Ventures Mezzogiorno instead is something different. It's oriented to digital companies in the south of Italy. It's a 25 million euro fund as well, half funded by Intesa, the other half by the Department of Technological Innovation of the Italian government. We do also round A, round B investment, but also seed investments with this one. And recently, as of a few months, we also have Atlante Seed, which is a new vehicle it's a smaller vehicle, 5 to 10 million euros, where we do seed investments into companies which are obviously much earlier stage. With Atlante Seed, we have a fairly different investment policy, meaning that with the other two funds, we invest directly into the startups. With Atlante Seed, we do both direct investments as well as we invest in incubators, such that eventually they help us in the co-investment side. So we do both things. And we are parts of the Intesa Group through the IMI Fondi Chiusi SGR, which gives us the opportunity of having an independent governance, which is very helpful when you have to speed up the investments for startups. I'm trying to go very, very quick on this. Then if you have questions, we can probably meet later on at lunch. But what I wanted to point out is that although we come in from a financial institution, we have a team and also an extended team which is very much into the technical domain. For example, in our investment committee, we have Katia Bastioli, which is the CEO of Novamont. She's a really relevant figure worldwide in chemistry. Alberto San Giovanni Vicentelli, he's a professor at UC Berkeley, but most notably he's also the founder of Cadence and Synopsys, which are two of the largest, I think they are the two largest companies on NASDAQ as well for electronic design automation. And he's very well known both in Italy as well as in the United States. Carlo Canevale, he's the CEO of Arcotel. And also Elizabeth Robinson, she's the president of NICOX Research Institute. Then we also have other managers from the group and from the team. On my side, which I am the last one on the right hand, myself, I grew up professionally in the United States, where I was at UC Berkeley for many years as a researcher, and I worked in Silicon Valley for quite a while. Then I switched to management consulting with McKinsey, and then I joined the Intesa San Paolo in the VC fund. So we do have a very diversified background which I believe is very important for the job that we do, and we try to understand much better entrepreneurs and also be very helpful in terms of from a technical side as well as from a business side into developing their own business. And we have a lot other type of advisors, specifics for biotech, pharma, medtech, clean tech, and ICT, which is very helpful because being a generalistic fund, it's not always easy to be right on top of everything. Very quickly, our portfolio, we have 9 investments so far. 3 of them, which are IGEA, Silicon Biosystems, and Tethys, they are mostly on the biomedical side. Yogitech, it's an investment in microelectronics for fault-robust circuits. Atmantix, you saw it yesterday with Lucas Cagliarini. It's a semantic web advertisement. Samares is software for clean tech. Pantea is a mobile, is a platform for mobile ad server. Spin Vector is it's a 3D augmented reality. Remocean, they do mostly analysis on current, on wave, like ocean waves. And H-Farm, which everybody probably knows, is our investment with the Atlante Seed, and it's a huge incubator close by here, Venice. I was briefly mentioned to you also about the startup initiative that I talked to you before. It's a huge effort that has been done by the Intesa Sanpaolo Group. It's a huge platform to meet startups with investors and corporates. It's a process, meaning that every time there's a startup initiative, there are like 100 new startups that want to participate. There's a selection process, a coaching session with specialized team that try to go, with every entrepreneur, try to really pin down their business model and everything. And eventually this goes into a process of presentation to our investor and corporates, which has been a very successful event with, at this point, 1,200 companies that have been participating or screened. We've done 20 times. We've also done 14 times outside of Italy as well, which is also very important. We do it in London, we do it in Germany, we do it in France, and it's very beneficial to bring our startups into also the continental Europe as well as the UK domain. Last thing I wanted to mention about the Startup Initiative is that please go check out the startupinitiative.com website where there are all the news also for next calls. And otherwise, you can also refer to Roberta Profeta, if you please stand up, that she is our Startup Initiative representative here today. This is really very quick. Then I wanted to leave ground mostly to demos. If you have further questions, then you can take me also for during lunchtime or later on during the breaks. Thank you very much.